Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Torno1500 and today we're going to be taking a look at the iPod Nano 2nd generation. Specifically the pink model, because this was $10 at the local Value Village. So I bought this thing a few months ago. I think it was on March break actually, because I wanted something that I could play music on that didn't have like a huge touchscreen like my iPod Touch 4th gen, or God forbid, my iPhone. But the battery ended up being horrible on this model. It doesn't have the black spot yet, and I'll get into what the black spot is later in the video. But it doesn't have the black spot, but the battery life is still bad. So unfortunately, I did not film when I got home the day I got this. But when I got home and got this, I plugged it into my computer, let it charge for a bit, and there was a bunch of like mid to late 2000s like kids show music. So the iPod Nano 2nd generation was released in 2006 as a successor to the 1st generation that was released in 2005. The original iPod Nano was supposed to be like a successor to the mini line before it, because the mini line was a small iPod like the iPod Nano, but it was thick and it had a mechanical hard drive. The mechanical hard drives in the iPod mini meant that they are very prone to failing. So in the iPod Nano, they decided to use flash storage instead, which is why they could make it so thin. This does not mean the iPod Nano was immune to issues. The 1st generation iPod Nanos were recalled in 2011 for battery issues. This also makes the iPod Nano 1st generations really hard to find, because most of them have been sent back to Apple at this point. And this does not mark the end of the iPod's battery issues. The iPod Nano 2nd through 5th generations all have crippling battery issues, which the iPod Nano's battery would swell and push up against the screen, creating a black spot. The black spot affects a lot of iPods. Fortunately, mine doesn't have it, surprisingly, but a lot of iPods have this black spot. Hell, DankPods has a whole video on these iPods and how they're not very good collector's items. And if you thought you could just replace the battery, you thought wrong. Reason being is because those batteries are completely irreplaceable unless you go through a specific process and you have to basically push out all the internals, and it's very inconvenient, and you risk puncturing the battery, taking it out if it's swelling. Okay, so I downloaded like most of my Spotify playlist. So this, at the time, my playlist was about 713 songs. So I downloaded them all to my hard drive and synced them up with iTunes for this iPod originally. So I was about to go like on a trip and I wanted like some music to listen to, and I didn't want to use my iPhone. So I put the songs onto this thing and played it off of here. But when it was time to sync this iPod up, I decided to try to put this on there. But then I realized it's 4.61 gigabytes in size. So that was not possible because the iPod Nano 2nd generation only has 4 gigabytes of storage. And that means I was only able to sync around 563 songs onto this iPod. Unlike other iPods, you can't watch videos on this screen, which I don't know why. I mean, it's a bit small, but you could still watch videos on this practically, I guess. You could look at it on the train or listen to the movie. But I guess there wasn't enough storage on it because it only has like 4 gigabytes of storage, so you probably already filled it to the brim with music. You could look at photos on this, although I have no idea why anybody would want to view photos on this. But I mean, you can play Brick. Oh. I'm doing better than damn it. And Phallic Gun. It looks like something I can't describe. Use your imagination.
Gun that looks like something I can't describe. Use your imagination.
But anyways, would I recommend these for collecting? Because that's pretty much the only thing that would be practically used for it nowadays. Probably not, and it's only because of the black spot. If you want to go for a collector's item for one of these things, go for the 1st generation models because those are especially rare, but they're kind of a fire hazard too, so. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really had a fun time looking at this in a video. I wanted to do it for the longest time, but I procrastinated so much and I had other videos I wanted to get out for this. But anyway, huge thanks to my Patreons. I'll put their names on screen right now. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!